Okay, so let's do session number 2, and I'm gonna actually revamp some of the things that I explained. In my previous, I had my first YouTube video about how to do screen recording on Linux. And so I tried a couple of times, recorded around about 10 sessions, didn't upload any of them because I wasn't happy with any of them, but so this is number 2. I did write an article about it, so the link will be in the description, and I'll add this video to the article. And so I'm basically just saying, what do you need to get a nice setup on Linux for under 100 euros. So what do I have? And what do I recommend to do? Well, first of all, take some notes of what you want to do. This is a short post, so it's a short post-it. But yeah, so firstly, and most importantly, is the microphone. Very often when you explain something on YouTube, people listen to what you say. Sure, they watch what you do on the screen, and so you should obviously record your screen and don't compress it crazily. But usually screencasts are rather good because you can't do much wrong with them. But the audio quality goes from terrible microphones from laptops all the way to studio quality. So to get a good kind of a middle ground, not spend too much but get some really good quality, I think, is to get a microphone. And so I got myself an Aukey, I don't know exactly what the model is called, I think MEU1 or something. And so it's a USB microphone. It's connected to my computer, and because I didn't want to have it right in front of me, so when I type, I had it, right here, and then there was a cable lying around here that was kind of annoying. And so I got myself one of those arms. They're like 15-16 euros. And it also has a pop filter, so you can actually bring the microphone really close to you if you want. And it doesn't, when you make sounds, then the microphone, especially the condenser microphone, doesn't get bothered by it. So yeah, that's my microphone setup. Then for the camera, sure, you could use your webcam on your computer. I don't have a webcam, and I also don't think that the webcams really bring good quality to the market. And so I'm using my phone. That has the added benefit that, it can be full HD if I want to record in full HD, and I could kind of bring I should probably bring the video up. And so this right now is set to 720p because it's good enough to put it in the corner. But, if what you do is the majority and you don't want to do screencasts, then jack it up to 1080 or even record it. Right now I'm just streaming it to the computer. So there's an app that I'll put in the notes as well, and it's also in the blog post. And that pretty much allows you to stream the camera from your phone. I don't think that works for iOS, I'm sorry, because what the phone does is it hosts a little HTTP server, and I think that's not possible with iOS. But I'm not a pro on that because I haven't had an iPhone in quite a while. So yeah, then what you do is you just follow the directions of the app. It has a little text written where you just, it's an IP address, your local phone's IP address. I think 8080 or something is the port. I created this window with Natifier, which is a module for Node. And so that creates a small standalone application. And yeah, so for recording, I use Simple Screen Recorder. that lets me select, or I set up a hotkey, and so I can quickly pause and play for longer recordings. So if I want to do a screencast about something that I want to develop, and that might take 2 or 3 hours, I can pause that, go to the bathroom, come back, and I don't have to cut manually and everything. And it also allows you to get a preview of what you see, how strong is the microphone, and it also allows you to set the frames. I usually set my frames to 10 because I don't need 30 frames per second of a mostly static screen. And if I'm a little laggy, that doesn't really matter. Yeah, then to edit when I want to edit the video, what I tend to do is I take FFmpeg and I first kind of copy the video and audio streams out of the container into 2 separate files. So that'll be FFmpeg and then the input file, and I copy first this one kind of just takes the audio away, and so it makes a video or video file, the MP4 file without audio, and then an audio out that's no video. And so that goes fairly quickly because it's mostly copying. So it's going to have a couple of magnitudes of speed improvement versus if I were to actually convert things right now or scale them down or something, then that would definitely be slower. I'm pretty sure you can also accelerate all of this with the GPU. I know that you can actually record your screen with the GPU with FFmpeg, but for me right now that's not necessary. Because screen recorder takes about 5%, and then when I want to split them, I can do some other stuff, prepare, open my Audacity, etc. And so what I use to make the sound a little better, I use Audacity. Audacity allows you to do noise removal, and it allows you to normalize and things like that. And so I import the audio into Audacity, and then I just what I usually do is I up the bass a little so that the voice has a richer sound. So that'll be equalization, and you can preview that if you want to, which I think...
Alright, so today...
Yeah, that's my speaker. And so I apply some equalization. Then I usually do some noise reduction. I have my fridge right next to me. I live in Naples right now, which has a lot of cars and city noises. And then I also have the hallway right over there. And so to avoid all of these things, I tend to do some noise reduction. For that, you need to find a spot that you haven't really said anything or done anything. So for me, I think that would be in the beginning here.
Alright, so today. Alright, so today.
So there's nothing here. And so I will do noise reduction, get a noise profile from the snippet, then zoom out all the way, mark the whole thing again. I didn't actually zoom out that much. And you can kind of see I speak a lot at the beginning, and then when this is one of those recordings where I'm actually just doing stuff for myself. I'm just recording myself to speak to something. So I'm doing rubber duck debugging. And so now you can apply the noise reduction, which takes a little bit. But through the magic of pausing, that was a lot quicker for you guys. And so now the noise should be mostly gone. I don't really hear anything. You probably won't hear it because the microphone is very sensitive to the distance. So, but yeah, I mean, if you can also look at the spectrum and see that there's nothing much there. The noise is at minus, or the level is at minus 54 decibels. So that's pretty much all right. And so finally, actually I'm going to jump in here once.
Evil and a terrible code smell.
So I was doing some coding there. And so then the final effect that I apply is the normalization. And that just kind of makes sure that the audio is always in the same volume region. And that goes fairly quickly. Yeah.
Just copies of the Java models. So we have these.
Okay, so I'm happy with that result. And so I'll export that audio, and I'll actually put it in the same folder. So I'll put it, what did I call it here? Audio edited, so I'll do the same. Actually, hold on. Why is it? Export audio, MP3 files. Why is it trying to call it an IF? Anyways, so back to screencast editing. I'm gonna pause that again. Okay, so the audio has been exported, audio edited, which is about 35 megs with a variable bitrate. So it's also a little smaller. That's nice. And so then the command is ffmpeg, and I just input the video output file, or video out file, which doesn't have audio, it's just video, and the edited audio, and then I copy both of them into the MP4 container. I'm not going to edit the audio or I'm not going to convert the audio because that should be compatible with the container. And so again, as you can see, the frame rate is quite fast. The thing is actually generally quite fast. And so the final result then is the video.
Today, I'm going to do my first live coding, or it's not really a live coding session, it's a recorded coding session. Model classes, which are all these here. OpenJDK.
Okay, the video is stuck. I'm going to find that out and tell you why. Okay, so the answer actually was it's a player problem, so VLC was having problems. So when I open it in a different player, then it seems to work just fine.
All right. So.
My Bluetooth actually has a lag of about 1 second right now. So when my video or my recording up here speaks, then the audio is kind of delayed. But that will not be in the actual video. And the video should be aligned. And so if you edit anything here, like if you cut something in the beginning especially, then that might or will very likely cause problems. Because if you cut something from the beginning and it just aligns audio and video, like when ffmpeg puts them back together, you know, it puts them right next to each other and then it starts playing from there. So if you, from your audio part, you cut the first little bit, then the whole thing is going to shift. So you obviously don't want that. But yeah, so that's my setup. I'm going to link both of those, the YouTube video and the Medium article, with each other. And I think that's all you need. Good audio, screen recording, no compression on the screen recording. You want to have it uncompressed, which is an MP4 format is just fine for that, because most of the screen or content on the screen doesn't move. And so I think the file right now is not too large. It's about 288 megabytes for 15 minutes in 4K video, 4K but 10 FPS, and 128 kilobytes audio quality. So I think that should cover most screencasting demands. Okay, so thanks.